So what are you looking for? First of all, and foremost, I think, is competence. Everyone wants to park by the brightest light in the parking lot, right? You're all going for competence, particularly if you have a complex case. There are some referrals organizations that I have in the materials. The American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers has a site wherever you are in the country or even in the world. They can give you the profile of different lawyers, and they've passed really highly specialized peer review. There's family law specialists in Arizona, and that's available at the State Bar site. But then sometimes you don't need all that much firepower, and there's lots of other lawyers who don't qualify under those headings who are also very good. But I think these are the obvious signs of what you want to look for competency. First of all, look for a busy lawyer. You know, that's sort of a no-brainer. And that lawyer can't just be your only, you can't be their only client. You have to understand that they're busy for a reason, and they're out there all the time getting more and more experience, and that can help you. And then I'm going to give you a secret question that will help you determine whether or not your lawyer is competent. And I can give you this question because I don't think any of you are trying to be legal specialists here in divorce law. And I am on the board of legal specialization, and I do the exam questions. And I know who doesn't get what. Most lawyers, and you think this is elementary, know what makes spousal maintenance deductible. It gets flunked 90% of the time. So it's a sure sign of competence. I ask that of every associate I want to hire to see whether or not they have a basic level. So the second thing is that I think people should look for is chemistry. You know, beyond competence, there is chemistry. And I think it's very important in divorce cases to have at least some chemistry. Somebody who shares your values in some way. And you're not going to get married to this person, but you are going to have a very special bond with them for about 6 months to the next year. And when I do seminars with lawyers, I like to tell them, you need to engage. You know, people think what I do is very stressful. I can assure you, yeah, it is challenging and it's somewhat stressful, but it's not really. Because if you engage, if you park those bubbles over your head that, you know, kind of like the cartoon, as you're talking to the person, you're saying, oh, that's, you know, a very reasonable thing you're saying, this is so-and-so, and really you're saying this person is a lunatic. You can't do that. If you can park that and stop interrupting yourself and don't allow any interruptions to occur, there's something that's very magical that occurs. There's an energy circuit that starts to happen. And I think a lot of good things flow from that. First of all, you don't get tired. Secondly, you get it. You know, I think one of the most beautiful things is hearing people's stories. And if you can get those details and really concentrate, you get it. And so people don't have to call you all the time reminding you 6 different times, which is what drives lawyers crazy when you call and it runs up your bill. So see whether or not you're engaging with that person or they're engaging with you. And there's a happy side effect. Both the lawyers and clients in that, you know, all that brain juice, the BDNF they talk about, that's the neural brain factor that keeps you from getting Alzheimer's and keeps you young. When you engage deeply, without interruption, and do things of the nature of the work that we do, you get that in spades. And so it's a great anti-aging protection, you know, go figure. You get a lot of soul movement from it. So beyond chemistry, I'm going to talk about the salesman. You want to stay away from the salesman. There are lawyers out there who promise too much, who will tell you, oh, you're going to get $20,000 a month in spousal maintenance for the next 50 years. I mean, I heard my clients tell me that other people have told them that. You have to know this. There are no spousal maintenance guidelines in Arizona. There were some in Phoenix, but then they died of natural causes. Everybody kind of danced on its grave, saying, ding dong, the witch is dead. Sometimes I wish we had them back. But there aren't even rules of thumb. People say, oh, I'll get it for half the marriage. No. Or I'll get half the income, or a third of the income. No. You need to know the real underbelly of the lay of the land. We used to have a very stable bench consisting of lawyers who actually practiced in the area of domestic relations. And they stayed on the bench for a long time. So we would have some consistency, and we as lawyers could predict a lot better than what we can now. That changed about 5 years ago. And this whole influx, all the old ones, in fact, the oldest one from the old bench is now retiring next year. But it's all, a lot of criminal judges are coming on, people from juvenile court, civil judges who've never heard a divorce case in their life. And people come in all the time and they want us to be able to tell them how much. People ask me that question 20 different ways to Friday. I can't tell you. There are factors for spousal maintenance, which I put in your materials, but there's no amount that you can predict. So if somebody tells you that they can, walk away.